My parents were very, very, very picky about me going to college and my education. That had a lot to do with it. I personally wanted to go to college just because I'm a first generation Hispanic. Not many of the boys in my family went to college, so I wanted to be one of the first ones to ever go and finish and actually come out with an education. There were a lot of staff that helped me out. The first was the STEM club staff. They were my everything. They helped me register for classes. They helped me with finding out who my professors were, finding out where the building was that I needed to attend to, even finding the Zoom link for the class just by itself, financial aid, everything. Everything along the process was them helping me because I had no clue what to do. Funniest thing that how I came in contact with them was Facebook. I was just scrolling through and I saw an opportunity for the STEM club to join in, and that's actually where I met them. I wish my college would have told me about orientation. I didn't receive any notification about that through my college email, my personal email, through mail, through phone contact. They have all that and more. Um, I wish they would have told me about how if payment wasn't made the first day I registered for classes, that I would get dropped out because that happened to me twice. And I also wish they would tell me about paperwork and documents that needed, not just the day before class that they would have told me. They didn't tell me I needed a parking license here at my college. They didn't tell me I needed a student ID to be able to get into my classes. They didn't tell me I would need a meningitis vaccine, that kind of stuff. They didn't tell me until the first day, right before my classes start. In a span of 3 hours, I went across my hometown I think I counted about 10 times trying to get the right paperwork. So I was in a big hurry the day before. I got it all done somehow. I don't know how I did it. A big thanks to the staff that I knew here at my college that really helped me out. I had a few connections, so I'm pretty confident that I will stay and complete my goals here at this college, mostly because I paid for it. So I don't want to let all that money go to waste, for one, and two, because I really feel like this education is going to help me a lot. My confidence level definitely did waver when I saw my first exam grade. I definitely knew that was the grade I was going to receive because I had definitely lacked off that first week and those first few assignments, which has really got me the introduction to the class itself and the subject we were studying, and it just really took a toll, and I knew it was going to. And I got to be honest, I didn't study for it, so that really just obviously impacted overall. I knew I was going to get that grade. I mean, it was just all on me. After I saw the grade, things definitely changed. I knew I had to do a lot better. Obviously, I could never get that grade again, or I would fail the class. So this next upcoming exam, I've been studying a lot more and just putting a lot more into the assignments, asking a few more questions than I usually do, just doing what I can to help me, obviously do better in my next exams. I got caught up almost a week ago because I was almost completely behind. I had about 4 or 7 assignments due in one day, and I had less than 5 hours to complete them. I felt great after I got all caught up because it was about 11:59 at night, and I had just hit the enter button for the last assignment, barely made it, and I just crashed on the chair that I was sitting in that night. I am definitely scared I will fall behind again before the end of the semester, because so much comes up outside of school and work and family, and then outside beyond that, because I'm very close with friends. There's too many factors for me not to be able to fall behind. It's just bound to happen. I'm just waiting and trying to be prepared for then. There was a questioning of me of whether I wanted to drop out and stop. That was from my friend who was having trouble as well in some classes that he has, and he was like asking me. He said, "Hey, I'm having some trouble, man. Do you think I should leave? What are you thinking about leaving if you get behind?" And the first thing I told him was, "I paid $700 for this class. I'm not leaving." So, because I knew I wasn't getting the money back, so I definitely just did not even think about quitting at that moment or ever. In the course I'm taking right now, I am not making the grade I expected. I'm barely right where I want to be, so it's not what I expected, but I'm gonna do better before I finish. I attribute the way my grade is right now because of me personally. I should have been more willing to focus and sit there and commit and study more when I didn't. I should have, but I didn't, and I realize that now. My lower grade really hit me when I hit my first exam. That's what really got me initiated. Like, I need to get this done because I did horrible at my first exam. It was nowhere near passing, and it really flipped the switch and told me I need to get stuff done. I need to better myself. I did feel a little bogged down by responsibilities and family a little bit at the beginning of the semester. But now that I have it paced out and I understand what needs to get done when, and I make sure I check myself and make sure I get my homework done and my assignments done on time, it doesn't feel nearly as bad. I told my parents that I was going to start missing some certain things, certain events, because Saturdays is when my parents, for some reason, like to have certain get togethers or birthday parties at the house. I told them that during those days I will not be available. They didn't like that because that meant that I was telling them what I was going to do completely. They did not like that at all, but they understood a little bit, but they were still very hesitant. Like the day of my third lecture exam was a Saturday, and I felt bad because it was my grandmother's birthday. They were upset because I was not out there helping when I told them I was going to be studying and getting ready for an exam. In my anatomy and physiology class, there was a point where I was doing pretty bad because I had a family emergency come up. I had another family event come up, and then I had work call me in, and that took up about 4 out of my 7 days that I had to complete assignments. I even missed class twice. I wasn't able to watch one of the lectures in time, so I was actually counted absent. And then my second lecture exam took a toll on that because I realized what I had missed, and it really just brought me down in general. But I realized from there what I needed to do to get better about it. After my second lecture exam, I realized that certain things needed to be different. I realized when my homework needed to be paced. I realized what times during the day I needed to go through and complete certain assignments. And then I realized when I was taking my notes for my lecture exam what I had done wrong. And I realized that it needed to be also paced right after I do my homework and the way I use my homework with my notes to study because I'm not very book steady or book wise. I don't like to read a lot, so I use the interactive homework a lot more with the notes. And so whenever I would complete a homework assignment, if there was something that really didn't stick, and I completed the assignment, I'd go back through the assignment and I'd write on the notes what needed to get done. And there, that really helped me out a lot. And so the next few weeks after my third lecture exam, it really showed. When I finished my third lecture exam and I talked to my professor about my grade and asked him certain questions, he told me that as long as I continue on the path that I was on, he saw really good things for me. He said that there was a slim chance I could get an A if that's what I really wanted, but he said otherwise that as long as I pushed myself, I was definitely going to pass the class and get the course done. The lesson that I learned this semester that's really going to help me next semester is learning what's important and what's not. I realized that video games, while fun, are not very important. They're not going to help me in life. I'm obviously not becoming a Twitch streamer and earn billions of dollars from that. I'm going to become an EMT, and that's going to be my life, and that's what I want to do. My confidence level has definitely increased ever since I thought that schedule, and I've been improving my grades and improving the time I get my homework done and the grades of my homework. It's been a lot better realizing that I can do what I need to get done. The time leading up to finals was very stressful. It led to me getting very high anxiety. I had to talk to a bunch of friends about it. I had to go to a focus group to study with them. It was just a lot of stress on me, but it was stress I was putting on myself because I knew what to do. I knew how to study, but finals ended up going pretty good because I passed with an A. So all that time I took to relax myself and put the work into studying the books that I didn't like reading felt really good and worked out in the end. The thing that really pushed me back outside of class was my relationship. I had gotten into a relationship I thought I was ready for, and I was definitely not. Um, then, not to mention my grandmother getting a little bit more ill recently. Still in the ICU right now, but that's really what's been worst experience. The only fear I have of falling behind my courses is if something happens with my grandmother. If anything happens to her, I told my professor, and I told my family I'm dropping out of school and I'm helping her. Because honestly, she's my number one priority. She's been there for me every day in my childhood, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for her. So I told my family that that's the only reason I would stop. The only other thing I had to be my little sister. She needs help. I'm helping her first. But other than that, I mean, my parents are full grown adults, and they told me they can handle themselves. So Other than that, right now, there's no big fear impending on me right now. I actually feel great where I'm standing in class. The course I think I learned the most in is my EMT program right now, and I haven't even finished it. I'm barely a month in. Where I know we're learning, and I know I'm learning more because we're actually about a week ahead of schedule. I can remember almost every hands-on thing we've done, like step by step. It's so interactive between the professor and the students. Learning there is just a lot more adaptive to what we feel suited to. It's very, very, very easy for learning. My greatest motivation for college right now is my grandmother. I'm gonna make sure I prove her right and that she was very happy that I was going to college. I'm gonna make sure I finish at least my basics so that she can see that I did push for it and I did make her happy at least a little bit. My confidence level has gone up really high ever since I started this course because I actually even got offered a job already. I've gotten offered work even just to do ride-alongs for my EMT program. So just to know that my confidence level of putting myself out there and doing my work and getting my grades right really, really boosts everything up. And so it's an all-time high right now.